Okay, I think we're live. Welcome. All right. Welcome. I'm so excited to be coming to you today to chat with you about this Scorpio new moon that's happening officially on November 4th, at least in my time zone, which is Eastern time zone. And I am going to be chatting about a card from the Way of the Horse deck that I feel really reflects the essence of these Scorpio New Moon vibes as I am feeling and experiencing and perceiving them. And finally, I do want to share with you about my brand new Directions Accelerator coaching offer. So if you are feeling called to go in a new direction, whether it's in your body with health issues, and or with your business or healing practice or career, whatever the case may be, if you're calling to do something in a new and different way, then I hope you'll stick around because I'm excited to share how you can get my personal support to do that so that you can really accelerate the process and also experience it with more ease and grace. I will say before I dive in that one of the most powerful things that I have been doing over the past decade, and I wouldn't be here now if I hadn't, and continue to do, is to hire coaches, mentors, whether it's private one-on-one or in a group program or mastermind or a combination, and really having the support, the accountability, the community, and knowing that someone sees, gets me, and has my back has just really been priceless on this journey as a soul-inspired entrepreneur. And so if that is something that resonates for you, I hope you will, again, stay tuned because I want to share with you how, again, you can get my support at this time. So depending on when you're tuning into this, obviously this is it's a little time sensitive, what I'm going to be sharing. So that being said, let's dive in. I'm going to take another sip of water. And I would chat with you about this Scorpio new moon. And I want to take a moment to also say, as a little disclaimer, whenever I bring in the sun and the moon and the stars, the astrology, the numerology, and the cards, that I always just want to remind you to take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't try to make it fit. For me, it is always just information that we can reflect on. And at the end of the day, we do want to tap into our inner guidance, our inner wisdom, our inner truth, and not give our power away to anything outside of us, okay? And I only share that because I'm someone who used to do that. I mean, seeking, external approval, validation, and, even love, looking for love in all the wrong places, right? And really just want to remind you that though I think it's helpful to use all these different things as tools and information and expand our awareness, I think it's so empowering. And at the end of the day, we do want to balance that with, again, checking in with our inner guidance and our inner truth, okay, our inner authority, if you will. So that being said, what I want to chat about today is the Scorpio new moon, again, as my intuitive take on it. And I do want to also say that, for me, the lunations, which I've been tuning into the moon for years now, really are a powerful way to not only tune into the energies that are going on in the collective psyche. And if you're someone who's very empathic and sensitive, and let me know below if you are empathic and you're sensitive and you can feel what's going on in the collective, then I think if you're not already tuning into the moon, this would potentially be a really powerful practice, because as a sensitive, empathic, intuitive soul myself, I have found it helps me to sort of unpack what's mine and what's not mine, what's going on in the collective. And it also helps to arm me and empower me in terms of navigating these energies. And the last thing I want to say before I go, in is that really I'm finding that especially now during these rapidly changing times, having the kind of the stability, if you will, the system, the structure, the cycle of, tuning in every month to the new moon and the full moon, for me is actually providing a sense of stability, a sense of having some sort of structure or foundation that, with all the chaos that's going on in the world, I find very grounding, okay, personally. So just wanted to share that thought and, put that out there. So Scorpio is, we often think of that like the animal, right? The little insect, that scorpion. And, it's funny, believe it or not, I actually, years ago, when I first, well, I'm trying to remember when it was, but anyway, years ago, I was actually living in a trailer, and when I got my first horse, I'm trying to remember the year, but anyway, the trailer ended up getting infested with scorpions, and I got stung by a scorpion in the shower, and they were, it was like, it was such a nightmare. Anyway, sidebar, too much information. Just saying. Anyway, Scorpio, we think of as, like the sting, right? This intense, laser focused, really deep, powerful energy. And, in many ways, the energy of Scorpio is that. Scorpio is a very deep, mysterious, magical, intuitive, psychic, sensitive, deeply feeling energy. It's a water sign, if I didn't say that already. And the words that come to me when I think of Scorpio are still waters run deep, right? It's really about doing that deep dive into the subconscious and, reclaiming the lesson, the gift, maybe that lost part of ourselves, right? And then rising from the waters, from the ashes, and rebirthing ourselves anew. And, like the phoenix, right? For me, that is in a nutshell what the scorpionic energies represent, that cycle of death, transformation, and rebirth, new life, right? And so because things are accelerating so quickly at this time on the planet, I think that cycle is actually, I don't know about you, let me know if you resonate, but for me, I feel like that cycle has kind of been happening, like more frequently, but also more quickly, if that makes sense, like the shedding the layers of the snake skin. It's really wild. Anyway, this new moons, by the way, if you're not familiar, are always about new beginnings. They're about fresh starts. They're about really getting clear around your sacred intentions, vision, and goals for this cycle, the next 30 days, 28 to 30 days, and beyond, okay? And planting those sacred seeds in, I like to say, the soil of your soul, the garden of your soul. Anyway, so we have this newness here, right? And then we have the intensity, if you will, of Scorpio and this watery, emotional energy. And we also know that Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto. Now, Pluto is the power planet. If I had to pick one word for Pluto, it would be power. And, it's about really reclaiming our personal power and looking at where are we giving our power away, looking at, maybe the subconscious, limiting broken beliefs that are holding us back, and at the end of the day, it all starts there, right? Because our beliefs, our thoughts create our emotions, which lead to our actions or behaviors, etc., right? And then that creates our reality. So the subconscious part, though, can be tricky because for those of us who, like me, have experienced past trauma, this is where navigating those areas can be, a journey. Okay, let's put it that way. The good news is that once we hit that 51% mark, where 51% or more of the time we are actually thinking, more of the positive high vibe, helpful, empowering thoughts and beliefs, that's when we really start to see things shift and that needle move in the way we desire. Whereas it can sometimes take a little while, I know it did for me, to really get to that place. So anyway, the Scorpio is really about, again, doing that deep dive, doing that work, doing that inner work, that soul's work, that reflection, and really getting maybe to the root of a particular belief or pattern or mental loop or, behavior, right? And, I want to say here, because this work can be very deep, especially if you have had, trauma. And, I know we've all had trauma on some level, but depending on the type and the intensity and the type of trauma, really, and severity, and where you're at, right? Like, there's no judgment. Like, everything is relative to the individual. So depending on the trauma and where you're at in terms of integrating it and processing it and healing it, right? This work really is not meant to be done alone. Okay. I just always feel like saying that, because I know that's the other thing that I was really good at for years, is doing everything by myself. Heaven forbid I ask for help, right? Or get support. And that's where, for me, the coaching has really changed my life in so many levels, because it's taught me that it's okay and I'm worthy, and, I can get there, meaning there, whatever my goals are, for a particular program or whatever, working with a particular coach, a lot more, powerfully, easily, gracefully, all of that, when I have the support. So that being said, I want to share with you a few questions, which, if you're into journaling, which I'm a huge fan of, that's another tool for me that's been really, really powerful for years, and the way I do it has evolved. But I have a few journaling questions for you that I'm going to share, and I will try to remember to type it down below. But you can always, replay this and pause and replay it as well. So the first question I have for you, in terms of planting your sacred seeds for this lunation, for this Scorpio new moon cycle, is to really, first of all, light a candle, get a cup of tea, get yourself comfy, set yourself some time to just have some quiet time and do this for yourself. Okay. Gift this to yourself. So that you can get the most out of this. And, if you're like me, maybe you like to do a little, ritual with it, where you, again, get some incense and light a candle and, do all that. But you don't have to do that. I just want to invite you to get present and quiet and still when you do this, as much as possible. Okay. And so the first question that you want to ask yourself is, what is your number one desire, goal, intention? If I were a, fairy godmother and I could wave that wand over you, what is that one wish that you would have right now? And I'm not talking about winning the lottery or $1 million, or, that I'm not saying that's wrong if you have that, but I want to go a little bit deeper in terms of what is that you desire to experience more of? Is it freedom? Is it, time freedom? Is it choice freedom? Is it money freedom? Is it, calling in your beloved? Is it finding your purpose and your, new assignment, your divine, a new assignment, right? At this time, is it really, taking your body and health goals to the next level and enjoying greater energy and vitality and focus. What is your number one desire that you have at this time? And you're welcome to leave the comments below, but these questions are really for you to journal on for this new moon. And then the second question I have for you, because Scorpio and Pluto is all about purification and cleansing and purging. So sometimes, well, I shouldn't say sometimes, but often we need to really release and create space in order to bring in the new. So now that we are clear on what our direction is, what our desire is, we also want to look at what we think might be holding us back. And this may or may not always look connected to your answer in the first part. Maybe it's just like, what is the number one thing right now that is really, when you tune in and get honest with yourself, that you feel needs to change, needs to go. Maybe it's like you've got a couple of rooms in the house like I do that have a ton of clutter and they just are bothering you and you just need to clean them. Maybe there's a certain conversation that you need to have with someone that you've been avoiding and not speaking your truth. Maybe there is something that you need to let go of, like this, broken belief that you're not enough. Whatever that is right now, and maybe there's more than one, but I want to invite you to sit down and write down, what it is that you are ready to release, that you need to release, that you want to release and let go of. Maybe you just need to surrender control to God. That's what I have to do often as a recovering control freak, right? I can slip into really trying to control things and want them to go my way and all of that, and my timing and all of that, right? And that's a practice as well, right? Surrendering, letting go and let God, right? So what is it? I mean, it may be as simple as that for you, and really feeling into that, saying a prayer, and that's great. So those are the two questions I have for you, and I want to invite you again to play with that, especially this week. And in case you're new to working with the new moons or the new moons in general and tuning into the moon, typically whether it's a new moon or full moon, for me, I feel like 3 days before and 3 days after, there's this like window that we have to kind of do this work and really harness and play with these energies for our conscious co-creation, right? For our growth, our expansion, our healing, and ultimately transformation. And because this one is so powerful, okay, I am actually being guided to throw in a third question here, and that is, where are you giving your power away? Where are you giving your power away? And, that one might be a little confronting, that might be a little triggering, and you may even find that there's something going on in your life right now, this week, or whenever you're tuning into this, because time really is fluid, that is really you giving your power away. It is really, I think, an eye-opener to look at how we as sensitive, empathic, intuitive souls, which chances are if you're watching this, you're like me in that way, we can be so heart-centered, and I think it's so easy to give our power away, and not have boundaries and not say no and not ask for what we want and not speak our truth, all the different ways, right? Because we're so sensitive to the needs of others. And while that's a gift, we don't want to neglect ourselves, right? We want to love ourselves enough to put that oxygen mask on first and really make sure that our needs are addressed, and I don't think, honestly, if you're listening to this, you're the kind of person that we would need to worry about you being hurtful to someone else, right? Because you're so sensitive and empathic, right? So, that power play that I like to sometimes talk about can be something that, again, and especially as women too, that can be a really challenging area. And it's funny, I'm thinking about a video I did a couple weeks ago on embracing my inner diva bitch, and I had this aha moment around how I was, giving my power away. I'll try to remember to link that below too. So anyway, just some food for thought in terms of working with this new moon, and to just bring this all together. Really, there is this opportunity right now and every day, honestly, but I find new moons especially powerful energetically to sort of activate this work and our intentions and our goals. If you are someone who, as I mentioned earlier, is looking to, do something in a new way, up level, stop hiding, stop playing small, maybe you want to do your first YouTube video, maybe you want to do a Facebook Live, maybe you would like to just get more visible, and maybe you want to do a podcast or start blogging or vlogging, whatever it is, where that you have an important message and mission on your heart that is meant to help the planet, and you really want to get that out there. Maybe you're a creative soul and you have your art to share with the world, whatever that is. And you're keeping it to yourself because of so many reasons, right, that we can have, and it could be time and just life, right? But if you have this calling deep within, and something is stirring in your soul as I'm speaking, and that it is your time to really connect with your passion projects, your soul's calling, and bring life to your dreams, and stop putting them off for some day. Or again, if you're already doing it, but you want to go to the next level and, start doing things in a bigger, bolder way, and you would like the support and the accountability to really do that and accelerate the process, have me in your back pocket, so to speak, through Voxer. And if that, depending where you are in the world, if that doesn't work for you, we can figure something out, but I do want to say this, that I often will custom create like packages or bundles, because it's really not a one size fits all. Okay. So, if you're worried about that, I just want to say that. So anyway, if you are resonating with anything that I'm saying and you feel stuck, you feel blocked, you have fear, you have resistance, you have lack of clarity, around your way forward at this time, and you really want to get into divine alignment with your new assignment at this time as a conscious, chosen one, as a soul who knows that they have gifts to share with the world in whatever way that they feel called, in a way that feels aligned with your soul, then I really want to invite you to just have a little chat with me, a heart-to-heart chat, a little meet and greet, where we can explore how I can support you at this time. I have different ways of working together, from 3-week bundle, 3-month coaching program, 3-hour intensive. So, we can explore what would be the best fit, if it indeed feels like a fit, to work together. Again, we're not limited to one way of doing that. So I really want to just invite you to sign up for a chat with me. And this is a time-sensitive announcement that I want to share, because I'm making this, the week of the Scorpio New Moon, the first week of November 2021. And if you are seeing this in a timely manner, this week only, I'm having a special promotion where if you have a conversation with me, and obviously that's the first step, and you decide to actually go deeper with my work, right now I have a 30% off savings of my private one-on-one coaching programs, which is really crazy. And honestly, as I said earlier, I underpriced anyway, given the industry standard at the level that I've been working and investing and playing with the coaches and mentors that I work with. But anyway, I know everything is relative. So right now, this week is an opportunity to actually save big and get some awesome bonuses. And so I just want to put that out there. If you are thinking you might like to explore the possibility of working with me, no pressure, no obligation, just set up a time to chat with me. And I would love to explore the possibilities. And before I go, as promised, I'm realizing I forgot to bring my card. And I just want to share this card with you. It is a very, rich, again, deep card here. And this is a mare-headed goddess. It is representing the Greek goddess Demeter. And I want to read to you here. It's called Keeper of the Mysteries. And interestingly, I love that it's the number 35, because in numerology that reduces to an 8, and 8 is our kind of our so within, so without, as above, so below. It's infinity. It is like really this bringing together the darkness and the light. It is empowerment and abundance. So, that number, I love that number. It's my life path number. Anyway, you can see this red-headed mare-headed goddess, okay? And so it's called Keeper of the Mysteries, and I thought this was so fitting, again, for the Scorpio New Moon. It's about initiation and intelligence in nature, borderland personality. I'm going to hopefully put up another video on that completely, but in a nutshell, that is for someone who feels sometimes like they don't fit in. They're deeply connected with nature, animals, and Mother Earth, and they are highly sensitive, empathic, intuitive, and really it hurts when they see what's going on in the world. And so if you feel any of those, that applies to that. For me, the borderland personality, from what I have read about it and understand, is very much like the chosen one. So we'll do another I'll have another video on that. Be on the lookout for that. So the gift, okay, I just want to read this piece here. A dove and a dolphin leap from the hands of the mare-headed goddess, a figure so ancient and mysterious she was almost lost to history. The gift, Demeter meets you in the cave of initiation, holding the promise of peace, prophecy, expanded consciousness, and a deeper, more soulful relationship with nature. The challenge, past traumas must be faced to reclaim power that was taken from you. Okay, and so like for me, this card again really symbolizes the essence of what this Scorpio new moon and Scorpio energy in general can bring us. The gift of really facing our past traumas and reclaiming our personal power. And in a nutshell, if I were to describe a lot of the work that I do, that essence is in there as a foundational piece if it hasn't been resolved or integrated or addressed. And I'm feeling called to just share with you the 3 layers of my Goddess Ascension Pyramid that's associated with my Venus Code Empress work around empowering the sacred feminine. And this is honestly can be applied regardless of gender, right? We all have masculine and feminine. However, it is more geared towards women. And so this ascension journey that I'm going to go through quickly, the core, the foundation, and the 3 core levels that are so important for us to work through, that I have found in my own journey, and then the women that I've worked with that helped to reclaim personal power, so that we, myself, and, again, the women I've worked with can enjoy, whether it's better health, better relationships, better career, work, finances, all the things, right? They're all connected. So the foundation, that first floor, the ground floor, is worth or worthiness, right? Really feeling worthy of getting help, of asking for help, right? Of being ourselves, of going beyond survival mode, right? And pursuing our dreams and desires. That worthiness piece is a big one, and there are many aspects to that, and depending on, again, your upbringing, your lineage, all of that, there's so many layers to that. But the beliefs that you have around yourself and the way that you perceive yourself, the way that you see yourself, I know for me, a big thing that really helped me along the way is reminding myself to see myself through the eyes of God as a child of God, right? And know that if God loves me, I can love me, right? And so excuse me. And so that is the foundation piece, like looking at that structure. Is your structure, is your foundation rock solid? Are there some boards that need to be replaced, right? That is the foundation. The second layer or level is going to be womb, our womb wisdom, our womb matrix, our womb energy, our womb space, right? This, and this is specific to my sisters here. I want to say, because we birth and can birth babies, right? We can birth life, we can birth, projects, we can birth, careers, we can birth whatever it is we desire that we set our mind to. And so this womb really holds for me a wealth of wisdom, of power, of passion, of intuition, of gifts, of purpose. And I will say, it holds the good and bad and the ugly. It holds also the shadow work that we sometimes need to do, like embracing our inner diva bitch, right? And it holds the the wounds and trauma in our DNA of our ancestors and our lineage, right? So there's just so much rich womb work, that I believe that we as women need to do to really heal our relationship with ourselves, with the feminine, right? With our, lineage, all of that. There's a lot of things there. And if you are like me, part of the Me Too movement, there's another layer there. So, that's the second layer. And then the third one is our warrior, goddess, warrior woman, our willpower. That's our solar power, our solar plexus. That is that masculine energy and fire that we also need as well to, have, our boundaries, to establish our boundaries, to, feel sovereign and whole and free. And so these three foundational pieces are like the foundation of the work that I do with the women who are ready to rise, right? This is a goddess ascension pyramid. And so there's the worth, the womb, and the warrior or the willpower. And then, of course, we have the wonder of the heart, the word of our, our voice, and the wisdom and beyond. So I was just feeling guided to just share that very quickly. But, this is just to give you a little taste about the way that I work, which, by the way, that's not the way, that's kind of like the foundational pieces, which people aren't always aware of, that's in the background. But really the way I work is very intuitive, it's trauma sensitive, and it's body centered. And I have a lot of cutting edge tools, high vibe, energy practices, embodiment work, activations, journaling, and more. And again, I custom create, depending on what the individual needs. So just wanted to give you a little flavor of that in case you're wondering. And, I think I'm going to wrap things up. I just want to Thank you so much for joining me today. If you received value and you are feeling this Scorpio new moon, let me know down below. If you have questions or comments, again, please feel free to share my contact information. If you want to email me, that's also great. And if you're here this long, if you receive value, I'm just going to ask you to support my channel. It is free to do by hitting that like button, by sharing the love, by subscribing, in all the ways. And I'm going to thank you in advance for your support. So have a fabulous, sexy new moon. And until next time. Oh, and by the way, too, Wednesdays and Fridays, don't forget, be on the lookout for my my new videos. And I'm trying to think if I'm going to be able to go live this Friday or not, but I will get back with you on that. So anyway, I love you. Thanks for being here. Namaste. Ciao for now.